Good morning, my fellow Africans and the world at large. This is Emmanuel Kojubensa once again, coming into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment, all the way from Ontario, Canada. Today is the 17th of June in the year 2022, and the Bible says this is the day the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. And on that note, I take this opportunity to invite the whole world, any man or woman listening to me or hearing my voice, to join me to give thanks to God for the day that He has granted unto us. And life in general. Life is beautiful. Life is wonderful. Life is glorious. Life is God Himself flowing through all things, including mankind. Today, I am going to speak to you on the topic, there is a divine fountain within you. I repeat, there is a divine fountain within you. And in the past days or weeks, I have been speaking about the power or the source energy that animates all things, including human beings. And human beings, as the Bible says, we are created in the images and the likeness of God. And therefore, we are the incarnate. We are God on earth here in an earthly body. And because we are in the material world, God's in the material world, we live in a material world and at the same time in our spiritual world, which is God's world, or which is the state of God, which God is spirit. And for that matter, our existence here is like, if you take a snail or a crab, they live in shells. The shell is not part of the animal or the crab or snail. The crabs in particular, they change their shells and they take on new one as they grow. And it is the same thing with a human being. Even though we don't change our bodies, but if you are to look at yourself, if you have pictures from the day you were born, and then you look through these pictures up to date where you are, if you are 40 years, if you are 20 years, if you are even 100 years, you will see that your body has taken on different forms and shapes. That is the number of bodies that you have put on this earth. So physically, we don't change our bodies like the crabs, but we change our body as we grow along. The body that you used to have in your youthful age is not a body that you have now. And the body that you will have now in a couple of years or years to come will not be the same body. We grow and we go through life. And it is the body upon which the spirit operates on earth here. So today, as human beings, by human ignorance and our lack of understanding of who we are, we live on earth here as if we are powerless. We do not have power. We do not have. We are victims of circumstances every day. But that is not the truth. God has made the human being a very powerful being. And all men and women who are able to connect to this source energy that we are made of is able to do all things. It is the source energy that provides and do all things in our life. So at a point, I refer to this source energy, or if you are religious inclined, I call God, we will call it God, or Allah, whatever you identify yourself to be. So I call it the sleeping giant, and I also refer to it as a sleeping giant. And today we are going to look at it as the fountain, the divine fountain in every man or woman. There is a divine fountain in you. So the way we are made could be likened to the fountain that we have. And those of us in the advanced world, we normally take our children to the playground. And if you go to the playground and just stand there and look at what they have done, someone has used his mind to do, and you do not look at it and get some wisdom from it, then you are wasting time. Anytime you visit there, take time to look at how this thing operates. So if you go to the playground, the children's playground in this part of the world, in summer, all playgrounds are open and the fountains are activated. And the arrangement of this fountain is that in the ground is a reservoir. And from the reservoir, they connect pipes. And then the pipes comes out. Then they have a control. So they have a switch that is used to control the pipe, either to turn it off or to turn it on. But if you stand there and look at what is happening at the playground where the children are plays, some of the waters comes in very slim flows. Some too also gushes out. Some too also rises into the skies. All coming from the ground. But you see that you have different pipes bringing out different levels of water into on the outer. But the fact is that what makes this to happen? Why are some of the waters coming from some of the holes giving huge water and some are only giving sprinkles? It is all about the kind of pipe that they have used to bring the water out. So at the base or at the bottom or in the ground of each pipe, the reservoir is open to each pipe. But the pipe will only bring out the water that its size permits it to bring out. Or the holes that the sprinkler, whatever that allows the water to come out, is made of. Some holes are bigger and some holes are smaller. And so by the nature of the holes or by the nature of the tube or the pipe that brings the water out from the fountain, that you will get the nature of the water that flows out of it. But the fact is that this water is open to all the pipes or tubes that is dropped into the fountain. And so this is our life. God, or our parent spirit, the spirit in us, the power in us, could be likened to a fountain or a lake, a fountain within us. And we are supposed to draw this water and bring it out. And what we use to draw this water out is by our faith that we will apply. So if you come to the knowledge and the understanding that beneath you, under you, or in the spiritual world, there is a fountain or there is a reservoir of water, which you're supposed to make a fountain and bring the water out and use it for various purposes. Then it is our responsibility to look for the pipes and connect this pipe onto the reservoir and bring this water out. And that pipe, as I've already said, is our faith and the thoughts we apply. And faith is a thought. And so, as a human being, you have everything that you need on this earth to be successful. I've said it before. You have everything that you need to be successful. You are connected to an ocean of life, which today we are looking at it as water, the fountain of life. Actually, water in metaphysical world actually represents the human psychic or the subconscious level. It is water. And so when we say the surface of the water is steady, that is someone who is at emotional turbulence. So your emotions are sometimes represented in the spiritual world as water. So the water that we have beneath us is the power of God, and we are supposed to connect to this level or to this part of us, which is lying dormant. This water is lying, waiting for us to connect our pipe and bring whatever amount of water that we want on the outer and use it. So as I said, if you go to the playground, the children, they choose where they want to stand. Some want to be at where the water is falling like rain. Some too want to be at where the water is only sprinkling. All is by the work of the size of the tubes and the size of the holes that allow, or the outlets that brings the water outside. So it is with you. We are all like the pipes at the playground. Each an individual is only drawing on the river of life beneath us, based on the pipe that we have chosen to use, and the type of holes that we have chosen to use as outlets. And it is our responsibility. So if your life is just like something that is sprinkling, so when the fountain is open, some of the water is only sprinkling. It's only sprinkled on the children. So if your life is like that, that means you haven't used the right pipe and the right outlet, or the right holes for the outlet to bring out, or to allow this water to gush out into your life, to allow life to flow into your outer experiences such that you enjoy it. And so if you see people who are enjoying, who are making it big, who are successful, that means they are those that when they went, or when they constructed their fountains, they never used smaller tubes. They went for the biggest tube. And that is, they took to faith and quench all their analytical skills, and then only dependent on faith. And as they have this deeper and higher faith, they are able to bring out water that gushes out and rises into the skies. And then even you actually, it looks so beautiful. So if you look at the fountains, some of the waters are able to rise up and make it so beautiful. And even they are able to make it to actually come in different shapes, in different sizes, in different styles. Yeah. So when you see this fountain displaying all these things, then compare it to your life. So your life is like that. If your life is not that what you want, if your life is sour, if your life is bitter, if you're not making it in life, that means you have constructed a fountain to the reservoir that is in you, which is your God in you, and therefore you are only bringing out only little things in your life, and all is by your own creation, by the faith, your knowledge and understanding of who you are. At the bottom, or at the subconscious life of every human being is life. And it is our responsibility to bring this life onto the outer. And this can only be done by the principle of faith and determination to construct this fountain in such a way that the water that comes out of us rises into the sky, and all men and women looks at it, and it becomes so attractive, and they would like to come and enjoy it. They would like to come and also enjoy and taste whatever you are bringing out. So your life is simply it can be likened to this fountain that we all look at it, we just walk by. That is how you operate. There are billions and tons of possibilities and potentials lying within you. And it is your responsibility, it is your divine right to connect to this divine reservoir of goodies, divine reservoir of all the good things that you need, by constructing your own pipe, which is by your faith and your knowledge and understanding, and then let this water gushes out into your life. And when it comes into your outer experiences, people begin to sing to your praises. People begin to sing your praises. People begin to rejoice in your achievement. And that is children coming under the fountain and they enjoy it. Even over here, you have adults who go to the fountain in the summer. They enjoy the water. They cool themselves down. So when you are the fountain, you created your own fountain, the fountain that has bigger tubes, the fountain that has bigger pipes, and is gushing out water into the air and are making all these beautiful things, then you are the one that people comes into your life and they get happiness. People come to you, they get joy. People come closer to you. They come and look, anyone who comes to you with his or her problem, those problems are quenched. just as the water quench the thirst and the heat of children and adults during the summer. So there is a river of life, and this kind of fountain, or this is what Jesus Christ referred to as the river of life or the well of life. So when Jesus met the Samaritan woman, he said something to her. The woman said, "This is a well that our forefathers created for us, and this is the water that we've been taking for years, and now you are saying that you give me a certain water? What are you saying?" Then Jesus said to her, if you read John chapter, the Gospel according to St. John chapter 4 verse 13, Jesus answered to the woman. Jesus answered, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life." A spring of water. So every man or woman on this earth here is thirsty. We are looking for life. We are looking for water to quench our thirst. But this water is lying within us. And as I've already been saying, Jesus Christ is personified in you as your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is the source of everything. At your subconscious level, at the spiritual level, all the things that you are looking for is within there. And that is why Jesus Christ said, "In my Father's house there are many mansions." Whatever you are looking for is already in existence in the spiritual world. It is your responsibility. It is your duty as a human being made in the image and the likeness of God to construct your own fountain to bring these possibilities and potential out. And this today we are referring all these things as water or the fountain of water. So there is a divine reservoir in you, and there is also a divine fountain that you have to construct to bring all that is in you, all that is deposited in you by God, to bring it out, such that it will quench men and women's thirst. So if you look at life, as we are living in this world, there are many people that they have constructed their foundations in such a way that they've quenched humanity's thirst. They've quenched humanity's suffering. If you come to Canada here right now, we are getting to summer. And sometimes the weather could be very hot in North America. And you will see men and women cooling themselves under fountains that have been constructed for these purposes. And that is how our life is supposed to be. Men and women who are ignorant, men and women who are thirsty, men and women who are suffering of one kind of situation, they run into our area, and then what we are bringing out quenches their situations. So if you take people like the Wright brothers, the whole world was in dire need of something to conquer the challenge of distance traveling. And they sat down, they took the most biggest pipes in the world, then connected it to the reservoir within them, and by days, the water gushed out. And the life that came out was aeroplane. And today, all mankind, we are enjoying their effort. Look, we talk of some people even have their personal jets and whatever. It is two people who constructed a divine fountain, and by that fountain we've got whatever that killed the problem or the challenge of long distance traveling. So this is the river of life. This is what we are talking of. That is life. There is a fountain that you need to create, and that is by faith. All these things are already created in you. There is a divine reservoir in you. There is a divine fountain that you need to activate. You activate it by faith. You activate it by faith. God has already made the structures, everything for you. All that you need is to increase your faith. And that is why at a point, the disciples of Jesus went to Jesus and spoke to him about a particular issue. Why they are not able to do this and that and that. He told them, increase your faith. If you have a faith which is even up to the size of the mustard seed, You will tell this mountain to move and it will move. In the same way, if you have faith in your divinity, if you have faith in the divine reservoir of water, divine reservoir of life that is lying within you, and you activate you activate your divine fountain right now with faith that is high, faith that is of a big nature. You will quench every raging fire in your life and even quench that of other people. Any man or woman that has created something, any man or woman that has invented anything, actually became save mankind from a particular problem. And in that case, it's like children or adults running under the fountain to quench their thirst and to cool themselves down. God has brought us here for a purpose. God has brought every one of us here for a purpose. And he didn't just bring us here without giving us the necessary things that we need. God knew beforehand, and for that matter, he put us on this earth and gave us all the possibilities and potentials. It is our responsibility to unearth it and bring it into the outer. So what is happening in your life? Is your life just that of that one that is sprinkling little? Or are you the one that life is gushing out in such a way that it blesses all men? Which one? You know your life. You know what you're doing. And some people don't. Some people's life, that the fountain is not it's not activated. It's not working. And therefore, what they see is what? Heat and thirst. They are suffering. But Jesus Christ said, I will give you the water that when you drink, it becomes a spring in you that is spring up to the eternal life, such that you will never be tasted. So when all the things that God has deposited in you and I, all of us, we are able to bring it out and let it flow, none of the difficulties or challenges we are talking of will be in existence, because we have actually evolved up to the point that there is perfection. But we are on an upward movement. So at any point in time, there will always be something for us to work on. But the fact is that at any point in time, whatever challenge that appears before us, there is a solution, there is a divine solution. And it is our responsibility to use our divine fountain, our spiritual fountains, to bring this divine solution outside. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. Jesus Christ wasn't talking about mansions in the heaven that religion is talking about. No, he was talking that he was saying that in the spiritual world, all the things that you need on earth here is already there. So it is yours for the taking. It is up to you to activate it or to bring it out into the world by faith. In my Father's world, there are many mansions, there are many things. In those days, there were no discoveries, there were not inventions. So Jesus Christ only spoke in the breadth of all, at the level at which people understood him at that level. Today, if we were to be speaking as I'm speaking to you, he would have said that in my Father's house or in my Father's world, there are many inventions and discoveries that men and women must know. There are many mansions, there are many inventions and discoveries that humanity is here to create. But it is only those who have had their pipes ready, who have actually gone for the bigger pipes and have them ready and have activated their divine fountain, they will be those that will bring all these things to the world. All other people who are ignorant, all other people who are not in this mindset, or in this frame of mind, will only sit down and only see what other people are doing. But we have equal powers to do whatever we are. The fact that someone has invented an aeroplane doesn't mean that you are also to invent an aeroplane. There is a human problem somewhere. There is a human problem within your own life, within your own vicinity. That is yours to solve. When you solve it and develop it, it will become a world order. It will become something that the world will celebrate and eventually become like an aeroplane. There is a divine reservoir in every one of us. There are tons of possibilities and potentials in all of us. And as it is with the the children's playground, or as it is at any fountain, it is the responsibility of every individual to construct or to activate the fountain and enlarge the size of the pipe that he is using, such that the water will come out and rise into the sky and become an attraction to people and become beautiful to people. That is the truth of life. The human being is not a powerless being. And as I have said, of all God's creation, the only creation of God that is referred to as a being is a human being. And God is the only being. Therefore, we are on the same level with God. We are co-creators with God. And it is our responsibility. There is a divine principle in you. There is a divine fountain. There is a divine spark. There is a divine power in you that with faith and determination, you activate it and bring out wonderful and great things into the world. And this is the time that every man or woman ought to be awakened to this. It is our lack of understanding of who we are. It is our lack of understanding of the life principle in us that has made our life so poor and sour. And as I've always been doing, I have more than enough to say that and even by the way we are being classified. I live in Canada. I have lived in the United Kingdom. I know most developed world. I'm not far away from US. And they are called the developed world. Why are they called the developed world? Because they've allowed or they've activated their divine reservoir and their divine fountains, and everything that is in their reservoir has come out and created attraction to people, such that all men and women from all walks of life have been attracted to their nations. And this, on the other hand, Africa and other third world countries are considered underdeveloped. Why are we underdeveloped? Because we have killed our potential. We do not have the knowledge and understanding to activate the divine power, the divine reservoir in us, the divine fountain in us, to allow it to bring out all the beautiful and great things that will attract people. We are not creating our fountain, or we are not using our fountains in such a way that the water will gush out and to be more and more of attraction. Wherever some of the fountains will go high, that if you are at a far distance, you will see it. It's kind of a beauty. It is an attraction that attracts men and women, even animals to it. In the same way, we ought to rise up right now. And I'm speaking about my people, African people. This is the time, the fountain that, or the reservoir that is in the white people, the European and whatever, that they've done whatever it is there. The same fountain, we have the same access to the same fountain. It is just that we do not know how to activate our own fountains, or we are only picking small pipes and using them in a very little, only getting just a glimpse of what we are supposed to do. The potentials of the African people is so huge, but we are not actually activating this in its right way. And this is the time that we need to rise up to accept the truth. You are a divine person. You are a divine fountain walking on earth here, and you have the only thing you need on this earth is to activate your divine fountain that is lying dormant in you. The water is already there. The reservoir is there. Yours is to press the button. Yours is to press the button and let this water gushes out into your life, such that one person will create this and becomes a world order. Another person will create another thing, it becomes a world order. Then we will litter our continent with all the things that are coming out of us. And it flows out to become a living of life. A place that men and women are anxious to come and see, are anxious to come and dwell, are anxious to come and enjoy. The glory of God must be seen in the lives of people. The glory of God must be seen in the life of people. But this glory will only come out only in as much as men and women allow the glory to come. God is lying within you. God is lying within you, seeking higher expression, waiting for you to activate it, waiting for you to call upon him to get up, to come out of you in the form of your ideas, in the form of whatever you were doing, such that he will use you above and beyond what a man or woman can think of. But it is your responsibility to activate this fountain of life. This fountain of life. You are a powerful human being. I keep saying it. And I'm referring to you, I'm addressing to you, my fellow African, whoever you are, whatever you are, regardless of your age. You are a powerful human being, made in the image and the likenesses of God. You are here to exploit. You are here to do exploit. You are here to create your own life. You are here to make life meaningful. You are here to allow God to work through you. Therefore, be awakened and accept the truth. You are not a victim of any circumstances. You are not a victim of anything. Nothing on this earth has the power to overcome you unless you give it a mental consent. God is lying right within you. And God in you is, today we are referring to it as a reservoir that we need to activate the fountain of God, the divine fountain in us, and that is by faith. And as we increase our faith, we increase our pipes, and the water will gush out. And when this water gushes out, whatever thing that is in you comes out, your life becomes flamboyant, your life becomes beautiful, such that people would like to come and watch and actually enjoy it. People who created Hollywood. Hollywood was one time in the minds of men and women. Now, if you use your money to come to America and then go to Hollywood and go and brag in your country that you visited Hollywood, today I am reminding you that Hollywood was in the mind of people, and the land that you are living on, you can also create something like Hollywood or even bigger than Hollywood if you open your divine fountain and let the Spirit of God and let the power of God, the source energy, the energy that animates you to cash out and use you as expected. We are the images and the likenesses of God. There is a divine principle in every human being. There is a divine principle in every human being. This is the truth that we ought to we ought to be awakened to. The African has de-empowered himself so much. The African has demagnetized himself so much that we lack the understanding. Our life is not showing anything. Nothing is coming out of us. No, this is the time we have to rise up and magnetize ourselves by linking ourselves to our divine reservoir and allow this life principle in us, the beauty and the goodies that God has in his own kingdom, to come into our life. And then we establish the kingdom of God on earth. And that's what we say, heaven on earth. Here, that is the truth of life. There is a divine principle. There is a divine life. Life is seeking higher expression in you. Life is seeking higher expression in you. How are you allowing life to work out with you? How are you allowing God to work through you? Any difficulty, any challenge that confronts you is an opportunity. And that is when you take your fountain. It is like when we are in summer. Summer appears and people need something to cool themselves. That is when we take our fountain, we activate our fountain, and then we allow the source of life to come out of us to quench all that we are facing. That is the truth of life. There is a divine principle in every human being. This divine principle is the same with all men and women. But the ability at which we are using it is the difference. The ability to use this divine principle at a higher level is the difference that we are seeing in this world. It's a difference between the African man or woman and any other human being or another person. Go to China, go to Korea, go to all these Asian countries. They have now become superpowers. Why? All by the power of the mind. They activated their divine fountains, such that everything that is in the spiritual world is springing forth in their world. Now we go there and we think they are super. No, they are not super. They are not super than us. We are all the same, but we are not using, or we are not allowing God to work through us. And that is what the Bible says, for it is God who worketh in you, both to will and to do for his own glory. God is willing, God is ready to work through you for his own glory, but you have to allow God. You are a divine being. You are God incarnate here, and therefore begin to seek the knowledge and understanding, and the understanding of linking up with your God source, the source of you, and let him be the source of anything, and ideas and inventions will spring out of you. No world or no nation, no big group of people have become great without using their minds. No group of people have become great by only sitting down and adoring after things. But the only people that have become great in our days in this world are those who have used their mind and dominate the world. Mind is the master. Mind rules the world. The mind that you have is a powerful tool, and you have to use your mind by developing higher faith to bring out all the good things that God has in stock for you. In my Father's kingdom, there are many mansions, there are many inventions, there are many discoveries to be made. But only those who have their fountains activated, that they will receive these ideas and inventions and bring them out into the world to solve humanity's problem. Humanity has so many problems, and the majority of the problems or situations are in Africa. And this is the time that the African man or woman will connect to our divine source. We connect to our divine source, our divine reservoir, and activate by activating our fountains, and allow these goodies, these great things that is in the spiritual world to come out of us and litter it all over our continent, such that our continent will no longer be regarded as underdeveloped, as an unenlightened continent. This is the determination. This is the fight that we have to fight on. We are not fighting against a human being. We are not in any fight with any human being. We are not in competition with anyone, but we are only accessing what is our divine right to do what is right and to make life the way we want it. That is the truth of life. That is the truth of life. You will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. All that we are doing are baseless. They have no basis. All that we are doing, running up and down, agitating and calling on people, accusing people that they are the source of our woes, and therefore they must relax whatever they are doing, such that we will have freedom. It will never work, because a human being is brought here to rise up to face these challenges and conquer them. And even if they relax these rules and whatever they have, and then we think that we have freedom, more will come up, more will spring up, because we haven't actually done the right thing. You can only liberate yourself by taking on, or by linking your mind and everything to your divine source, and let the divine work through you. There are many mansions, there are many inventions. When Jesus Christ said there are many mansions in my Father's room, he's just saying that there are many inventions, there are many discoveries to be made in this world. And therefore, we only have to link up with the Father, and the Father will release them unto us. And since Jesus Christ came onto the earth, up till now, the things that mankind has made, the advances that mankind has made in humanity's life is so huge, and all come to support that statement that in my Father's house there are many mansions. We have cars, we have airplanes, we have submarines, we have different and new ones are coming. The internet came to change the world. How did the internet come? It came through men and women. All the things that we are seeing, it came through men and women. And that is the river of life the river of life, the reservoir that is within men and women. We are all connected to it. Africans, let us increase our faith. Let us increase the pipe that we are using right now, and let the Spirit of God, let the goodies of God, let the presence of God that comes with all ideas that flow through us and rises into the sky to become an attraction. And that is what we are doing on our continent. There is a divine fountain in you. Activate it. There is a divine fountain in you. Activate it. Activate it. And let the divine rises into the sky. Let the divine rises into the sky to brighten your life, to make your life beautiful, to quench men and women's thirst, to quench men and women's thirst, to cool men and women down. The problem that mankind have, they are looking for solutions. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you using your mind for? What are you using your mind for? Rise up, my fellow Africans, my fellow men and women. Let us rise up. We are not born powerless. We are not born useless. We are born powerful. We have the divine principle in us. We are connected to the same source. And this is the time that we need to allow the source to do wonders in our lives. To do wonders in our lives. That is the truth of life. So, you are not just anything. You are not just an object passing through the earth. You are a powerful human being loaded with potentials and possibilities. And today, I am bringing your mind to this truth by using this fountain analogy. You are a divine fountain that is connected to a divine reservoir. Activate the fountain, and you see that the whatever is in the divine reservoir will come out to brighten your corner, to save men and women, to bring happiness and joy to men and women. Think of the day that when we were in Ghana and they were extending this electricity into the rural areas. Look at the joy that people who have lived for years, centuries, they've never seen light. The day that the light is switched on, look at the joy, the happiness that these people have. It is the same thing. The day that we will allow the goodies, the mansions and all the discovery and the things, the ideas and the inventions in the divine reservoir comes into our life, the world will rejoice. The world will rejoice. The world will sing to the glory of God. That yes, indeed, the world has come to another level. For Africa has risen as it is. The world is waiting to see the Africa that is soaring, but as it is not. And this is the time that we have to rise up. There are men and women who are equal to all the people that have done things in the other parts of the world. It's just that we are not using our fountain well. And this is the time the knowledge has come. Rise up, my fellow men and women. African, let us rise up and build our land. Let us rise up, allow God to work through us, and then let us make wonders on the African continent and invite all men and women to come and enjoy it. To come and enjoy it. We are here to make a difference. We are not here just to pass through the world and beg people. Always appeal to people, but we are here to make a difference. And today, the way to make a difference is to see yourself as a fountain that is placed upon a divine reservoir. And it is your responsibility to take up faith and determination and allow whatever thing that is in the divine reservoir to gush out into your life. And all of us doing this, Africa will be developed. Africa will be a continent that is a developed continent, that we are not rubbing shoulders with anyone, but we are soaring with one another. We are soaring with other developed world, saying that we deal with each other on equal level, saying that the black man will also put himself on the world stage. That whatever things that we see that we are putting ourselves on the world stage, that is not the truth. If we have one African or one black man rising to become this organization, no, all are good, but that will never define the black man. What defines the black man is the complete development of the African continent into a world that is developed as any other continent. That is how the black man will be defined and be recognized and will be respected on the world stage. Anything other than this, we are still fighting a loose battle. That is my message for you. And may the overshadowing presence of God that keeps the stars in the open, such that they do not fall on us, and keep the planets in their orbits, such that they do not clash with one another, but there is complete order and harmony. The same presence keeps you and leads you and directs you, gives you an open mind and an open heart and a open mind and a receptive heart, such that this message will land on the fertile soil, such that all of us will rise up to activate our divine fountains and allow the divine to flow into our lives, so that it will be a beauty and an attraction to all men and women on the African continent. Once again, my name is Emmanuel Kwejo-Mensah. I am a co-founder of the Eagle Mentality Group. At Eagle Mentality Group, we teach and propagate information about the power of the subconscious mind and universal laws and principles. The dream and the determination is to raise a new group of Africans, a new group of Africans that think and do things in a different way, different from what we are doing now, such that we will create a new Africa, a new black race, such that we will develop our continent and our nation up to a point that we are on the same level with all other men and women, such that we will have all men and women coming to live. Whatever coming out of our fountains will be an attraction to men and women to come and live amongst us, to demonstrate the beauty and the glory of all, which is diversity. Diversity is God in action. That is my message for you. Thank you, and God bless you.